Oh fuck! I dropped my ice cream.
Me and I guess I'll help Lucy with the trap shit. That stuff. I'm sorry.
If we're back in, are we back in, Josh?
We're back in, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So about the whole butt thing, it's not going to come up today. We need to have at least 500 subscribers to the governor's Twitch thing and make it a push goal. Because, well, my ass be worth it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm privileged. I'm privileged. I get it in person. Wife privileges.
The only thing that pops into my head right now is the gif of Samwise Gamgee going, "Share the load." But anyway.
And with that, so last time we were there, a few minutes ago, Prometheus had vanished. They were able to get through the door of the Titans. And currently they're looking for traps. It was Lucy and Elle that we're looking through, I believe was what we just decided. And we have dancing lights up for our human friend. Go ahead.
My guidance.
Go ahead and make the investigation check.
Do you want to make it separate, right?
We can do separate. Who are you giving guidance to?
Yeah, we'll just... I'll give it to Elle this time. What? Oh, that's very kind. Yeah.
We'll mix it up.
Motherfucker. That's a natural one. Hey, next time roll again, I can trade it out, man.
So what happened was, as you guys are trying to figure out, Elle's like, hey, Lucy, he touched me. She keeps pointing to her forehead, just constantly distracting
I fucking know.
Lucy. He touched me. He touched my forehead.
He touched me. He touched me. It was a good touch or a bad touch?
Where did he touch you?
Why? Why did you guys have to go there? Wow.
You're the
Oh,
one
I'm running on no sleep.
You're the one
I
that
warned you.
Yeah. I would have said that the two of them just bumped into each other and fell. But I like that. He touched
Just like, oh, look at these footprints, and it's just each other's footprints going in a circle.
Those are yours!
Very much reading the poo style.
Oh my god, yeah. So that failed terribly. What happens next?
Well, it just means
well,
we get a
let's just
reroll
go
next
for it.
time.
You guys getting onward, and there are no traps.
Yeah, look at how good you guys did looking for those traps. There weren't any. You guys did so good.
And there are no stones covering these entrances to the Titans.
Okay.
Hey DM,
Yes.
can I just keep an eye out for Prometheus's altar or space if I can?
Sure. You do? Okay. It isn't hard to find. There's one of his is right next to his younger brother, the god of Afterthought. You can see there's several different felts and purrs because his brother made the animals, while Prometheus made man. There's on Prometheus's. There's some clay. There are some almost looks like reeds that were burnt that are just kind of on there, either to represent, probably to represent the time he burnt fire for it. You doubt it's the actual, reeds that he used to set on fire to give to man to explain how to survive. Because beforehand they're living off of, raw meat and, food that needed to be cooked prior.
Hey, Nephe, what was Prometheus's brother's name?
You cut out there for a second. What is Prometheus's what?
Brother's name?
I don't have it written down. Hang on.
Sorry, DM. I'm sorry, buddy.
Did not do
No, I should have had it written down. I've blah blah.
Alright.
It's almost like you have to run an entire world on your own. For
Emetheus.
Emetheus?
Emetheus.
Emetheus.
I have to run 4 worlds actually.
Even worse.
Maybe 3 of them.
Technically, it's all the same world, just different timelines. So.
When we found the Prometheus altar, I'll take the little clay that I had grabbed and I'll find a place to kind of set it.
And same thing, I'll grab a cookie, one of my biscuits, and pastries out of my bag, and I'll place it on the altar.
Can I take a look at Amethyus's altar in space?
Sure.
Is the axe glowing again, or is it just doing normal stuff?
It's still lightly glowing, but it's not glowing particularly because of
Just-
Prometheus or Prometheus's. Yeah, there are actually no doors. Like, it's just an open courtyard. There's pillars and things like that, and things are broken up by like walls, but there's no doors by any means.
Right, like partitions with like sections.
Yeah, partitions. Thank you. Yes.
Cool. Is there anything like on the walls? Any like write-in or like pictographs or nothing?
There's some wall paintings kind of explaining what their purpose was. Different from the Greeks, because you tell that these were kind of more done with respect instead of actual like worship. Because not a lot of people worship Titans.
Alright.
Because it's believed that if you do, they'll come back and try to kill the gods again. Something that Nephew would know about.
Just real quiet, Druid craft a little like wolf out of twigs, and just leave it on the altar for Amethyus and go.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Not quite fully healed from last week's sinus infection. You guys continue onward. You see that there's one place for Atlantis, the Titan Atlas, who held the world. You can see that there's a statue of a small man kind of holding up part of the sky, it looks like. A lot of like, there's a simple like halberd that it must have represented him. Strength. There's also just a lot of variety of goddesses and goddesses that you guys don't ever heard of. Also several different nymphs. Looking around, Elle, you notice that you see some different Fae deities in here as well. It seems that either the Fae were one of the first ones here. There's the god of the unicorns that is here. There's also... Yep, that's an actual Fae god, interestingly enough.
That is actually very interesting.
Other campaign, one of my players has a cleric that worships her.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Badass.
Do I see any of the gods that my clan worship? They didn't worship Greek, did they?
No. They worshipped more spirits because they're furbolgs, not fae. But they probably taught you some of the heritage of your people. That's why you're able to recognize the one. Because unicorns are a beautiful creature. Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, good.
Can I take Gunthar aside really quickly? So I'll just kind of walk up to Gunthar and just kind of like lightly pass him on the shoulder.
Hey,
Okay.
what's going on?
Nothing. I'm just a bit happy for you. I mean, we're so close. We're closer to understanding at least what's going on and maybe why Gaea chose you.
The god of unicorns her name is Ikshun.
How do you spell that?
Iksewn.
Gunther's looking a little stunned as you talk to him. He's still a little like...
Is it too much to go through?
I'm not a fast man cognitively. And I'm still processing some information that was shared with me by Prometheus. And also all of this. I'm still not certain on a lot of things. I'm fine, but you know what? Thank you guys for coming down here because it's answering a lot of it's answering some questions and then posing a hell of a lot more. But it helps. It helps a lot.
I should also say thank you. You guys didn't have to help me get here either.
Oh
That's
man.
what friends are for, right? We'll help each other out when we need it. And Gunthar and Nephe, we're both here for you, no matter what happens. normal.
Thank you. And Gunther, don't feel bad, because I went to school for this, and I don't know what's happening.
That actually makes me feel a lot better. I do a lot of schooling. Sorry. Alright. Are we getting Forge on, crew?
Lilith,
I like
make,
to think. Oh, never mind.
Lilith, go and make a percentile check.
Oh, don't after I was muted.
35. As you're kind of looking along, you do notice, you find a small, like the smallest shrine you see of what appears to be a small cat skull with two little emeralds as eyes, and a small little shrine. It looks like it was placed afterwards.
I would kind of.
Okay. Looking at the it's just the skull itself. Like, it's on this little mound. It looks like something I was laid across it that was either picked up or something like that. That's the only thing that's on there.
I would like to, I will place one of the Hydra tooths that I got, as well as light some incense. Just like,
Okay.
just light incense and leave a Hydra tooth.
Okay. Yeah. Very well.
I love how everyone's kind of broken off to different shrines and is doing stuff at them real, like, quiet and somber. It's a cool mood.
Okay,
Lucy, what were you
question.
trying to say?
Oh.
Oh, yes, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, do I knock off an entire block of incense? Because even though I just chipped off like a little piece to.
I'd say a gold piece worth. Like, how much incense do you leave? Do you leave a gold piece worth, or like less than that?
Like less than that, like a silver piece.
Because you do. Okay, yeah, because you buy incense by the gold worth, so you just take off a silver piece of incense. Because you don't have like a single incense. You say, I buy 50 gold pieces worth of incense, or I buy 100 gold pieces of incense, or I buy
Yeah.
a copper's worth of incense. That way
I'll
we don't
just
have to
put a
deal with things
cone
like
there.
grams.
Because like it just says a block of incense typically found in a priest pack. Like that's all. Like it says that.
Oh.
That I have that. Just body where I'm at. I just chip off a piece.
So, like, go into your inventory, type in incense, and then you already did burn a lot of incense, so I don't know how much you had prepared.
I have 3 left.
Because you
out
already
of, like,
spent
the 5
50
that
gold
I've
pieces
had.
worth.
Um,
Okay, so that means you'd have 150 gold pieces
in the
worth of
vibe.
incense. So that would be you still have 150 gold pieces worth of gold left, 150 gold pieces worth of incense left. So you can type that in if you want to write that down. That means now you have 149 gold pieces and 9 silver worth of incense.
Rude. Okay.
You're the one that's being difficult.
I didn't ask for logistics, Justin. I want to cover
No, no.
my bases.
And I did. Then you said I was being rude.
No, I apologize.
I'm teasing.
Apologize, I didn't- Okay.
Hashtag couple goals.
Apologize.
All
Don't
right.
be a dick.
So Lucy, is that a t-shirt? Alyssa, we need a t-shirt.
I'll make it a t-shirt.
Of what?
Was that supposed to be
Always
sexual?
apologize. Don't be a dick.
Me apologize. And then with Gunther in bear form, just marriage advice.
I mean, I have random notes at the top of each session. They make no sense. One of them is literally Earth Booty.
Lucy, what were you trying to do?
No, I was gonna say, if she's walking by as they're all like talking, and she kind of, if she can't overhear Ellen, Gunthar, and Nephe talking, she's gonna kind of pause for a moment and then just like quietly walk ahead with no other words and like doesn't really focus on anything. Just trying to get to where they're supposed to go because she's tired of it being down here, really.
I'm tired of being in this dark cave.
Tired of being in this dark cave.
We have been underground for a long time, huh?
It's been less than 24 hours.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
It's still too long.
But she's just tired.
It's too long for somebody that doesn't have dark vision.
That is fair. That is very fair.
I do appreciate the dancing lights,
Have a
though.
good track record. Yeah. And making sure you can see. You have, like,
I appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, Lucy, Elle, are you taking the lead again?
You'll go look for some more traps?
You did a real good job last time. We didn't step on anything.
Exactly. That's why we're the best. Fine.
You're the greatest.
We're the greatest. Alright.
Another one?
I gotta roll. Oh, so better. 5.
Oh! Why are y'all so bad?
I don't know why. You're going away from
Do
me.
I need to look for... Do I
Okay,
need to check
I
for
rolled-
traps next
okay.
time?
So, I had my bad roll. I was like, oh, I rolled bad. I'll just use it again because I rolled a 2.
Sure.
I got another natural 1. And I was like, yeah, I'm good.
So, next time,
I
I'll
got a
check for
3 with
traps.
a total of 7.
Okay.
Oh, total of 5.
Well, good news is there aren't any traps that you guys see. The bad news is there is a trap.
Uh-oh.
As you
I
guys
had my own
are,
head. That's what we're doing.
as you guys are just kind of looking on the ground, you guys don't see the very thin wire that both of you trip. I need both of you, as this cloud of smoke erupts around you guys, to make Constitution saving throws.
Now you're being nice. No, never mind. You're not. 9.
9,
15.
15. Okay.
I thought that was a 15 too. Then I looked at it.
Ooh.
All right. Both of you take 18 points of poison damage.
Oh, wait, aren't we immune to poison?
You are not. That's right. You guys are not immune to poison. Hey, it's fine.
The DM just saved your lives retroactively.
That's retro.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
so I just cough a little and just wave it off.
Like,
Uh,
what was that?
Fuck, Gunthar.
Something you also do notice,
Inhale some dust.
as the line trips, a bunch of sconces start lighting down the path that you guys are going.
On the power switch.
Thanks. Now I can see even farther down.
The light is a greenish yellow, the same as Gunther's axe.
Gunthar, I think you should take lead.
You notice as it continues to go down, it begins to open up, and you see actually not just one large wall representative of ancient Titan. You see another one that's kind of starts coming down on the wall like this, and on the other side is going up towards the ceiling.
And like the story goes like that.
I'm saying that one shrine begins to go up and goes this way, and one shrine starts from the bottom and goes to the top of the ceiling.
Got it. Okay. All right, Gunthar.
Going-
I'm sorry.
All of you can get. I mean, Gunther, are you leading the way?
Yeah, he'll stand in the front.
Walking up there.
Oh, Gunther. You can do this, Gunther. We're all here for you.
Looking, Gunther, there is, you see that the ground, a lot of it's still been like basic stone, like it is like an ancient temple. But as you stand, as you get closer and closer to where these shrines are kind of being formed, the ground becomes soft earth, and there's grass, and there's a couple trees, and there's flowers that definitely require sunlight.
Whoa.
That are just growing naturally. And you look over to the other side, and it looks like a starry night. It first looks like it's dusk. It slowly goes up the wall. Looks like the sky slowly turning into darkness until the ceiling is just covered in stars.
My God, this is beautiful.
And you first think, Gunthar, as you're looking at the ceiling, that it's just a painting, but then you see a small shooting star go down and disperse.
Holy shit. This has been down here for like thousands of years? I'll walk forward into the middle of it all.
Okay. Looking at it, it looks like the sun is rising, hitting these plants and growing, but then it slowly turns into night. Like, looking at some of the plant life, there's also some plants that only bloom at night as well. So it's this weird paradox of there are some flowers that are blooming because it's sunrise, but there's also some flowers that are blooming because it's nighttime.
So it's like the whole cycle of a day is encompassed within this thing.
Wild.
And as I look around, does it look like there's any like kind of altar or like place of like focal point to this whole thing?
There is this large, beautiful olive tree. And at the base of it, one of the roots seems to have naturally grown to almost look like a place of like a bench or some sort of table. And you see that there have been not really drilled in holes, but because of how the roots work, they're able to put little incense in, and there is a blanket that's been over with the symbol of the Mother Earth or Gaea.
Oh my God. Where are the others?
They're a ways back. They can kind of see this because it looks like there's broad sunlight in the middle of this place.
Nephe would have, maybe not as closely as Gunthar, but she would have walked in as well. This is kind of like the epitome of her work. Like, she's in awe. She's staring at the sky and kind of just trying to make sense of what she's seeing.
Yeah, Elle would have followed too, but Elle isn't staring at everything. She's just straight at Gunthar. She's just like worried about him.
Lucy stays towards the back. She follows, but she stays more towards the back, just kind of like, this isn't my kind of deal. But
Same.
I'm gonna walk up to the altar looking thing, the like branch with the fabric over it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just how's it? Who do we lose? Lilith.
Gunthar, you're cutting out. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. Is there as I look at the altar, kind of what do I see? Like I see the fabric and little spots for incense.
Looking at the tree, it's very overgrown, very naturally looking. Like, it doesn't look like it's ever has been pruned or anything like that. And if this tree has been here for thousands of years, it shows. It's like, think of the size like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter. Like, that's the size of this olive tree. And if people know olive trees, they don't ever get that big.
It all screams magic.
Yes, it screams magic and it screams old magic. Getting closer to the tree, you begin to feel a...
Take it out. I pull out the necklace. Is it the thing that's pulsing? Is it... I'll set it on the altar before me.
Alright, you set it down on the altar. It's still just beating.
I needed to break this when the time was right. Right?
No, that was the box that had the little
box.
gem that you put in there. So it's just beating, but... Nephe, make an Arcana check.
$19?
19. It looks like some sort of key with the way it's responding. Placing it down somewhere is not going to make whatever he's trying to make it do.
Okay, can I very gently, very respectfully investigate the trunk or the table just to see if there's any inlay?
Sure, go ahead and make a investigation check.
I love this. Nephe being here is awesome.
That's a 12.
12. You're looking through the tree, and there are plenty of small little holes and divots like trees do when they get really old. But nothing in particular. Nephew, this is incredibly important to you because primordial Genasi are from elementals and genies, which are also children of Gaea and children of her children. So in some way, you have a connection there. If you go back far enough, you are actually related to Gaea in one way, shape, or form.
So at some point, while she's like looking up and down the trunk, she might just kind of pause with her hand on the tree and just kind of like close her eyes and like be one with nature for a second.
Sure.
Gunther's gonna join her in doing that, like at the same time.
Gunthar, make a wisdom check. Nephe, make a charisma check.
"13 wisdom."
That's 12.
Okay. Nothing.
Gunther's gonna make a loop around the tree, kind of inspecting it.
Okay. It looks like a giant, beautiful olive tree.
Looking up into the branches, is there anything like up in the tree?
Olives.
Yeah.
Leaves. You see a small bird.
Weird. I'll pick the amulet back up. As I bring it closer to the tree, does it respond differently? If I press it against the tree?
Almost sounds like a drum. As you move up into the tree, sometimes it gets a little faster, sometimes it gets a little slower.
As I kind of follow that pattern where it gets stronger, like heading towards where it gets stronger.
It goes down to the center, going down, down, down. There's a knot that's covered in moss. You kind of have to brush it away. You click it in. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit.
But we have advantage.
Oh, we have advantage!
Thank God.
Thank God!
I like that a lot.
Rolled a 2 and a 3.
Gunther, how many? You've had some pretty low
serious?
rolls. You can re-roll.
That was
because
2
my
really,
roll-
yeah, that was 3 really low rolls in a row. Okay.
Then re-roll it. Like I'm not gonna keep track. You guys have to keep track.
Sorry,
Of
I forgot. That's
alright.
Okay. 11. No better.
13.
24.
With the advantage, it was a nat 20.
it. Okay. Al, what'd you roll?
15.
15. Dirty 20. All right. Dirty 20.
11.
So, Nephe, Dax, and Lilith. The three of you are not blinded by this. Like, you cover your hands in time as this white, bright light just covers the entire place. All the other three of you are blinded almost immediately.
Lovely.
And Dax, you hear a as you look and see the tree has opened. It takes about a minute,
A little bit.
like enough for a person to walk through. The three of you take about a minute before your eyes are able to reset, and Gunthar, in front of you there is a staircase going down into this tree.
Holy hell.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going down.
The amulet is back in your hand.
The amulet, did it? Okay, perfect. I'm kind of holding
It's no longer glowing. It's no longer heart beating.
Okay. I'm kind of holding it out still, and again, the axe in the other hand. I do glance over my shoulder. Just kind of...
I'm coming.
Yeah, I follow you. I am, like, this is amazing.
He's not going to stop anybody. Like, he's not going to, you know...
Guess we're all following.
She's not even scared anymore. She's just like, let's do this.
Yeah, but it's the adventure's kicked in now. Fucking do it.
Let's go.
Okay. You guys go down the staircase, and it feels like solid stairs. All of you, but it's dirt. It's like loose dirt. You step on it wrong, it slowly like gives away, but you don't slip or fall because it's solid. The ground around you is covered in veins and just the roots of the tree that almost made this path almost like an archway. And there's no need for dancing lights because there are small mosses and small mushrooms that are giving off this natural light that just happens in small caves like this. From either silkworms or other things, you have no idea. Going down. And you go, and there is this large, open field of almost this mossy kind of grass. And it smells of salt water. There's a small pool. And there's a small statue, similar to that has the same exact symbol and face of Gunthar's little necklace that he has. Right in front of the small pool of salt water.
Hold on, guys. Give me a second. He's gonna walk towards the statue.
Yeah, while he's looking at the pool, I'm again looking around the wall with inscriptions, pictures, anything.
There's nothing.
It's just like a simple room with this pool of salt water and just the statue. Right?
There's the salt water's coming out of the statue's mouth into the pool.
This is so cool. This is Layla talking. This is so cool.
Dax will lean over to Lucy and be like, "Do you think he's gonna get shot out of the water again?"
That's immediately where my mind went to. Yeah.
If he gets shot out again, he'll just hit the fucking ceiling.
Guys, this is a holy
What?
place. Stop swearing. Fuck. Come on.
Gunther!
So Gunther's going to put his hand in the water coming from the mouth. And look at the pool.
Your hand that was cut or the hand that was not cut?
The hand that was... Well, I probably would have cupped it like this.
Okay. As you put your hand, the salt water stings the cut, but it slowly begins to melt it back and your health is regained.
Oh. Do I get, like... He's gonna watch that. And then he's gonna cup the water and he's gonna drink some of it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a percentile check.
Oh, shit.
Percentile
Okay.
check for me, please.
You got it, boss. That is a 7.
7. Drink the water. It's salty. Like, seawater salty. You were near the ocean a few days ago, and that stuff be nasty. You didn't drink any of it.
That was a bad idea.
Dax.
Is there anything in the bottom of the pool?
It's too dark. You can't tell. You have no idea how deep this pool goes. Dax, make a religion check.
Skablam. I really shouldn't have done it because I rolled a natural 1. I skablammed myself.
Your religion and your connection with the Red Knight is very different than this one.
I really did myself 30 there.
You have no idea what's going on. You don't read a lot of Greek mythology because stories.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Homer. No one listens to Homer.
Homie.
Wow, that was good. Wow.
That was really good.
That was really good.
You killed Ola.
You know what? I am going to take off some of the life for that. I can't give y'all XP, but I can take off damage from you making you mad.
Y'all, I saw a Marge Simpson cosplayer out, like, MetroCon this year, and immediately just went, Tommy. And, like, my friends were like, so I go, I don't know. I'm really good at random voices.
That was impressive. Holy shit. Gunther's gonna say, I mean, it worked last time, and he start pulling his shirt off. And he's going in the water.
I'm gonna reach over and cover Elle's eyes.
His back is so hairy.
It
Like,
looks like he's wearing another shirt.
yeah, it's like a fucking shag carpet. Like, from here
not a sweater.
all the way down. It's just shag carpet all the way down.
Oh, did I kill you? No, but apparently this Marge Simpson cosplayer was tearing it up on the dance floor too. I missed out on it, but she was like tearing it up.
As you go to step in the water, it becomes hard as ice.
Oh, good thing I took my shirt off. Am I able to walk out onto the water?
And something that I didn't think to mention because it wasn't applicable because no one knew, is that the water, like, you look at the statue, it goes down, it dribbles into this pool of water. Gunther, as you take a step down, you look, and the pool slowly continues into the darkness that you can't see.
Is when I step onto the water, is it like a
solid ice?
Does it turn into like
No.
a sheet or stairs?
It's just a straight line going out into darkness that you cannot see. Even with your dark vision, you cannot see.
Okay, so we can't even see how big the pool is. We just see the edge of it.
And you see the statue that's dripping water into it. And the water is continuing to drip, and you can see that it's hitting the water, and there's a splash, but where Gunther stepped, it's ice. Or it's solid as ice.
Gunther's gonna kind of on it, like check that it's sturdy.
It's sturdy.
Then he's gonna do the like awkward leg spread, like next step kind of thing that people do on ice, and like move a little bit further away from the edge.
It feels like you're stepping on actual dirt. It doesn't feel like you're stepping on ice. It looks like ice.
And he's gonna shuffle forward
It's
and do.
wet and cold like ice, but it's not slippery. Dex, make a perception check.
20 said he falls on his ass in 20 minutes.
17.
17. You seeing what's going on? Every time he takes a step, all the sediment at the bottom of this pool seems to rise up and hardens, so he can step on it.
That's cool.
It's cold.
I have no idea why it's doing it though. To me, it's just like magic eyes. He's gonna step further out into the darkness. He still has his axe and amulet in hand too.
The axe is glowing brighter than ever. It's almost giving off like small sunlight.
Just
Lucy, dancing lights?
I'll start walking closer, and if as far how far can I send them?
Pretty far.
I can send them 120 feet. I'm just gonna light them up down the road.
They do not appear.
Excuse me?
You're excused.
what?
If I
I've never had
cast,
this happen.
if I cast light on like a stone or something, does that work?
Do you toss it in there?
Well, okay. First of all, does the light?
Yeah,
Does it
so
work?
if you're standing outside, like you stand, there's plenty of stones on the ground. This in the pick it up, and it lights fine in your hand.
Okay.
Magic is
So
working.
then, if it lights, then I would try to toss it out towards Gunther.
You toss it towards Gunther, and as soon as it gets to where the pool begins, it just stops glowing. It just drops into the water.
Elle runs to the edge of the pool. She doesn't cross it. She just kind of stands there. She's shaking, actually. She's shaking a little bit. She's kind of like, oh shit, like, what's going on? Is he okay? Like, she's worried. Really, really worried right now.
Gunther's gonna look over his shoulder and look at Elle. Kind of be like, "Don't worry, I'm good." And then he's gonna turn and walk into the darkness.
You don't make
nice
it that far.
knowing you.
Next step, you immediately submerge into the bottom of the pool.
Surprise! Don't worry, I'm good. Splash!
As soon as he
fine.
turns, as soon as he takes the first step, he just submerges into the water, down.
Al screams his name.
I'm in danger.
Danger!
What am I? I'm good. Oh no, I'm drowning.
It's alright.
All right.
I'm good. Rock bottom.
Do we give him like 10 minutes?
Yeah, last time the lake spit me.
10 minutes. But I think we should back up in case he doesn't get within.
Maybe we step to the side and back. Who
I
knows
think
where he's
we
gonna
should
land.
also give Elle a sedative because I think she's about to pass out from just.
Elle,
She's
come here.
Crying.
What are you gonna do?
She's crying.
I'm gonna walk up and pick her up, just to hold her, like, he'll be back.
Pick
He'll
me
fall
up,
from the
what
sky
is-
like he did. No, like, not pick you up, like, friend, like, not, like, hold you
Nephe,
like-
make a dexterity saving
I
throw.
got you. I got you.
Huh?
Nephe, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
I low-key love that this group is just like, Gunther's done something stupid. He'll be fine.
10,
That's usually the.
and I'm worried.
What'd you roll, Nephe?
10.
A 10.
You see, as she's kind of looking around, confused. She must have lost her footing or something, because she falls then headfirst into the pool and begins to sink.
What, Nephew?
You just slip into
Nephe.
a pool head first. You don't slip head first.
Is she next to me?
No, because you were grabbing Elle, you were comforting Elle, and you just look over and hear a. As her body is just gone.
I think it's funny because Lilith is just in the back, like sitting.
She
like,
saw it
looking
happen.
on Child.
She saw him just fall. She just saw her fall in.
Yeah, she's just watching all of this go on. She's like not touching anything, not doing nothing. Like she's floating on, like sitting on Giles,
I'm
cross-legged.
so proud of
just, like,
her.
Just sitting there, because she's like low-key a little scared about the warnings that they've read on all of the signs, basically saying if you do something stupid, you're staying here. And she's like, I don't like this. I don't fucking like this place at all.
I need all of you to hop off except for Nephe and Gunther.
So many times.
Like I mentioned, when he stepped, the sediment came up and collected so he could have a solid surface. As you begin to fall, you're not that heavy, obviously. You two are, I mean, you're a dwarf and you're a marble genasi, but you shouldn't sink immediately at the bottom.
Yeah.
So as you begin to, you notice that as soon as your head fell in, the sediment collected around your face, making you heavier. And then, as you kept submerging, heavier, heavier, until you feel almost like you're surrounded in this ball of sediment. And it's, think of like Groot's sphere that he kind of makes at the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That's how big this sphere is, and you can breathe inside this sphere. And you're not spinning crazily like you should be. You can feel the momentum around you. You're standing perfectly still. Until you hear a... almost like you're landing on a surface, on a shore. The sediment parts and just falls. Gunther, you step out. This is weird as fuck. And you look over for a second and you see another one of them go up to the shore, and there's the sky around you guys. This is the exact same place you were last time, Gunther, in your dream.
I knew it! This is the way to get here! Sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
I'm super excited.
Nephe, you step out, freaking the hell out, and you're on a beach. You look up, and the sun, if your math is correct about where the sun should be, it should be on that horizon, but for some reason, it's on that horizon. Considering where the beaches are in New York and where you are. And you're near these cliffs. You look up, and Gunther's right next to you, and he is looking like he knows where he is. Kind of
Yeah.
sees you, confused. But there's this cave that you guys are entering towards. that you're at the entrance of this beach goes to. What would you like to do?
Nephew, welcome to the realm of Gaea.
Where are we?
This is where I met Gaea and T last time. I'm not sure exactly where we are. I don't know if we're on the planet or some other plane of existence, but we're not in Kansas anymore.
Where's Kansas?
Kansas exists. Campaign, first of all, rude.
It's a state like never mind. Sorry. This is wow. This is all right. This way. Follow me. And he just heads off towards where he was last time.
I also would like to point out that Gunther is not wearing much of his armor.
Nope. He is. And your axe isn't there, Gunther, but your amulet. But you have your amulet in your hand.
My amulet in my hand. Okay, no axe. And just his breeches. And his bare boots.
Yes, and his bare boots.
I guess I follow him.
He leads you into this cave, and similar to the ruins that you were in prior, there's the story of when the world was created, when Gaea and her husband arrived. First, he goes to the wall and explains their history, and then them having children, then them having children, and then having all the other gods appear. Different times, the other histories of different religions and societies being built here. Dwarves, elves, the first appearances of Genasi. Stories that don't make sense according to history. The history that you are aware of, there's a whole blank slate between the after destruction of the Elven Empress. For some reason, it shows that, and it shows the time that was missed. How many years, you have no idea. And as you continue, you come across a wall of a simple stone woman's face, covered in moss, but it looks like the moss is a part of the engraving. Sitting there, gently playing with the twig, is Prometheus. You made it.
Brother.
Were we supposed to make it here?
I mean, there are plenty of things you could have done to make it so you couldn't have gotten here. I didn't know how much Mother had given you, because it's not my place to peek into people's memories. I do it on occasion.
Well, we came. Sorry.
No. Please. I'm only here to make sure... We can't hear you, Nephe. You muted yourself.
She's not saying anything, I think.
I wasn't talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just here to wish y'all good luck. I don't know if you'll ever see me again, but if you do, it's been a pleasure.
Good luck for... What are we doing?
That's not my job to say. He grabs some clay, puts it into a square, and walks through it. And it turns down to a little glob of clay on the ground.
This shit... Wow! These guys are crazy.
Okay.
Mother? Gaea? You there?
As the eyes of the wall slowly open, you see these two enormous pearls of green and yellow energy slowly swirling. The head slightly turns. She kind of rolls. It almost seems to like roll its neck, and the entire cavern you're in shakes slightly. Hello, Gunther.
Hey.
You must be Nephe. We haven't met.
It's an honor.
The honor is mine. I'm glad you made it here, Gunther. And Nephe, Your grandfather would be proud.
She might tear up a little. She'll mention he searched for you his whole life.
He got so close so many times. I'm sure you have questions, which I can answer in due time.
So many.
If it is all the same to you, Gunther's first, so I'll give him the first chance. She slowly turns her head. She has a very warm, motherly smile on her face.
I came like you asked, followed the signs as best I could. I think I'm doing it right.
You are, and I am proud. However, it's far too soon. You're not strong enough physically. You will be granted gifts because you have followed my instruction. But you're far too early. Time is not ready. He is not ready.
Who's he?
The reason why I decided to restart, have followers again. Your grandfather was aware. I had talked to him, made him swear never to tell.
He never did.
Something is.
When she said, he swore to never tell.
Something is coming. And I need you to be ready.
How do I prepare? Do I keep doing what I'm doing? Do I search out more places? What?
This was the last step. I am now within your mind.
So I can communicate with you?
I can communicate you through dreams. You don't have to come find a temple or a ruin.
Alright.
And Nephe, a gift for you. You see that she closes her eyes and a little bit of her third eye opens up, and in your hand is a small, when I say small, it's maybe about the size of like a bottle cap or something like that, but it is a gold piece, except given how old it looks ancient Greek, but it has a symbol of Gaea on it. She closes her eyes. That and the 200 I put into your pockets will be clear evidence for the people that you work for that there is ancient. The ancient magic still work and exist. And your research will be acknowledged, and you can continue the growth of my following.
So you want me to tell them about the place? You want them to come?
Keep that one I gave in your hand, and I can communicate with you always.
She'll just hold it really tight.
I'll give you 3 questions that I may answer.
For me or for Nephe? Sorry, I missed the... Uh-oh, did we lose Bret? We did. Shoot. No!
It's okay, you and me, we'll just hang out.
Yeah. Hey, how about this god place?
Oh boy.
He's back.
Now I can hear. I apologize.
Oh, no.
He said give her Nephe 3 questions before she has to go.
Oh no.
Gunther's just like, you got this, come on. She's real nice. She ain't ever been mean to me.
How close did my grandfather get? When did he find you?
one of his adventures in Greek, he fell and actually landed on that beach that you popped up on. He never made it past the first bit due to a concussion. His team found him and brought him back to the medical center, and he never found this actual entrance. But I did give him a gift. I believe you still carry it.
And she'll pull out the little. It was a trinket that he carried with him many years.
Is there any name he would give to you as affectionate? Of something.
We never finalized one, but I
Yes,
sent you
I could have sworn we had. Hang on.
a list of like 5. Oh no, we named the little black thing. We never finalized on like a nickname. I sent you a list of a couple.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead and pick one.
Okay.
More probably my part. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. She'll say, in Greek, she'll say, Polisimu Mao.
The small figure hand turns to dust. And Gunthar, you can't see this, but then you hear only as you can see, Nephe, a large, when I say large, maybe snout to ground, it's about 6 feet. Hound is just standing there.
She's a little shocked and takes a step back.
It comes up towards you, sniffs you twice in the face, and then you just this huge ass slick. Gunthar, there's now like saliva all over Nephe, and there's nothing there to have given it to her.
Gunthar just knows not to ask questions anymore. He's just like,
After a moment of shock, she'll be like, oh, okay, and she'll start like petting its face.
Alright, now I want to ask questions.
She still has 2, Gunthar. You must be patient.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. What is this creature?
Well, I had pets. She's just like I had pets. Yeah. I wanted your grandfather to believe that I existed. The statue at the bottom of it has the symbol of Gaea. That's how you're so familiar with it, because you look at it every night. And this was my gift to him, as he took a leap of faith in me. I gave him confidence in an old friend.
Now, I did not prepare questions, so I'm making this all.
I know, I did that on purpose. I'm not sorry.
Oh gosh.
You have done 2. One for the dog. One about your grandfather.
I guess her last one. She will ask. So she'll say, my family always believes you, and what is it that you wish of us? That is my last question.
Continue with research. People need to understand that the earth is alive. More than just the trees. More than just the animals. The earth itself. The way that people are constructing and draining its resources will eventually die much faster than it would normally. I will die.
Is Gunthar hearing these answers too?
Yes, she's saying it's not telepathically.
Perfect.
So she'll just, kind of to finish it off, she'll just, thank you, Mother. I'm honored to be here and do as you wish.
I wish for you to go. She gently closes her eyes, then Nephe's gone.
You want me to leave?
You can if you want to. You can stay. I'm not going to make you leave. Okay. She gently turns her head back towards you. Gunther. I hope Prometheus didn't exaggerate like he does.
I can't quite tell. And maybe that's one of my questions for you. He called me brother.
He's always been one for theatrics. Dwarves are interesting. They came from the earth. They mined the earth for its resources. The first dwarves were giants that had to adapt to small conditions to hide from predators. In that time, a lot of them made deals and agreements with me to give them the ability to survive. I granted dwarves my magic to see in the dark, to be able to understand how stone works, how valuable things are that come from me. And in return, they would continue to develop the things that I naturally created to make things beautiful. Giant, beautiful monuments, statues, cities of the underworld. Not hell itself, but under the earth.
I gotcha. There aren't many of those left, no?
Sadly, no. They've been considered dangerous because of wild creatures that grew due to my selfishness and anger towards the world that was changing around me, and I could do nothing.
So I'm like the first children, the fairies and that, like I'm a part of your bloodline?
The dwarves have Gaea's energy running through them. However, I have made it dormant because no one I have seen in a long time was worthy.
Till me?
Till your grandmother.
Yeah, she was a lot nicer than I was. I liked her.
But she was in the wrong place at the wrong time and had your father.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice.
No, he was not. So I'm vanquished his powers. Vanquished. Vanquished. I can't say in her accent. So I vanquished her powers.
Accents, man.
It's hard. It really is. So in a way, yes, you could get Prometheus was right in some sense for calling me brother.
He scared the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie.
He did that the first time he showed man fire.
Okay, I'm starting. This is
Theatrics.
I'm getting it. Yeah, so he's all right. Cool. I know a few folks like that. Like to make a little razzle dazzle. So what do I've come early, and I'm not ready for whatever is to come. But you at least can speak with me now when you need me to. Is that right?
I can.
What do I do while how do I grow? How do I become what you need me to?
There'll be times when I will grant you gifts after a certain point that I believe you are deemed worthy to gain. I would say, gain more allies. There is something coming, and you're going to need all the help you can get.
Is that Nephe's work as well, like spreading your word again?
Perhaps not my word, just example. Not every priest needs to start a mission. Some priests need to form an army.
So we need to combat, gain allies. I'm sorry, I verbally process.
Understandable. I understand that there are some people that you'd rather despise, from what I've seen. And if before you say that about anarchy, you understand that there is a natural order and there is laws that happen throughout nature that cannot be contained.
I understand
The-
that.
The honeybee has to follow the will of the queen. The citizen has to follow the rules of the land. If it wants the world, the city, country, not to fall apart.
So civilization needs to stand,
If the world is to continue.
even if
Otherwise,
Sorry.
otherwise it'd be total chaos. There was several centuries of that. So much bloodshed over petty.
Even if this civilization is raping and pillaging your lands.
That would happen regardless if it was civilized or not.
Oh, that's a
People
good
will
point.
still have greed. People will still mine for precious metals and ores. People will still cut down trees to make plant lands, which still help me because seeds and,
So I have to help guide folks in respecting even as they utilize it. And all while making sure that anarchy doesn't reign.
Anarchy can reign in some locations, but at the
Alright.
same time, I'm not going to force you how to live your life. I'm your mother, not your nanny.
Yeah. Alright. So I've got to make my own path here a little bit. But understand.
Which is a part of understanding who you are, Gunther.
Well, I thought I knew who I was until all this happened.
It's strange how religion and destiny can do that to you.
Can I ask you one more question? There's a being who travels with our group of companions. His name... Well, I don't know if it's rightful to invoke it in your presence or not, but he makes deals with our friends, and like you said, there's different structures and lores and orders and stuff, but I worry for the people that he touches. Are you able to put my mind at ease at all, or is that something that's beyond your ability to speak to?
If you're referring to the cat that your Teifling travels with, I see mostly everything, Gunther. Anytime, you know how they say the trees have eyes?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do.
I'm sorry I peed on that one bush. I really had to go to the bathroom. Sorry.
It is alright. It's not the worst thing that's happened to a bush.
I can actually imagine.
Talk to your friends that you believe you can convince. There are other people that are far more trustworthy that could grant them gifts.
Okay.
Like the gentleman that was here last time we discussed.
T?
He's a interesting creature.
Do you feel then that Salem is not necessarily to be trusted?
Creatures from his realm have a purpose like everything else does.
Hmm.
The world needs needs vultures. The world needs wolves. The world needs
Right.
bears.
Yeah, bears are the shit. Sorry, distracted.
They can make great fertilizer. I do agree. Dead or their fecal matter.
Did you just make a joke, Gaea?
The world kind of around you rumble as it looks like she shrugs.
Man, you're great.
I appreciate that.
Alright. I get it.
Your
Nece-
gifts will come when you need them the most. Take care, Gunther. Now, I've heard that your friends complained about you being shot out of a pond. Let's see how they like it. She closed her eyes, and the world around you begins to go very white.
I'm so excited.
Hi guys!
Welcome back.
Wow, it's only been like 30 minutes!
Thank you, Bret. That was awesome. Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.
It isn't over yet, buddy.
Oh boy. I don't know what happened, but oh boy.
Also, that was awesome to share with Nephe. That was really fun
Yeah,
too.
I thought it would be nice for her to stay so she could listen.
That was really cool.
As we talked random nonsense.
Is Lucy around or no?
She was.
Hey!
I needed lotion.
Oh. I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws with disadvantage.
We just got here.
I know. You two as well. You two as well. Yep.
13.
13.
15.
15, okay.
No, I need to put lotion on my tattoo, man.
Saving throw? That's a 7.
7. Al, what'd you roll? With disadvantage?
Disadvantage?
I rolled a 15 and a 13.
An 8.
Not too shabby.
Same.
Great.
So, everyone except for Dax, everyone except for L, not Dax, you look down on this river as it begins, this pool begins to slowly shoot up, and you see, not Nani, not Nani, I love Nani, Nephe and Gunthar being shot out of it, and the water slowly begins to fill this place and covers you guys as you guys are being put in this large tidal wave going up this ramp that you guys just came down from. L, you were somehow able to grab a hold of something, like, you grab a hold of Gunthar and wrap around basically like a board. You're not swept away. You're controlling yourself and you're able to breathe. You guys slowly make your way up, going back the way you came. All the boards, all the slates of stone are gone as the salt water is just pushing you farther and farther and farther and farther and farther. Dax and Gunthar, go ahead and make perception checks as this is going on.
Ooh, natural 20. So that's 27.
And a 14 for Gunthar.
Dax, you look down at the ground and you swear that you see a trident slowly just kind of pointing the direction where you guys are going as you guys are continuing onward and onward and onward until you're back outside of this place. And the water is continuing throughout the ruins. Until... You know how I said there was that gorge that you guys had to pass through that bridge?
Is this a bad time to say that Lucy can't swim, period?
I can't swim.
She can't swim! We were talking about this in chat while you guys were talking. Like, she can't swim.
We'll get her some floaties. It's fine.
Get her some floaties. She'll be fine. Yeah, she can't swim.
As you guys begin to free fall off the gorge with the water.
Is there something I can grab?
The trees, actually, as they're coming down towards you guys. I need all of you make acrobatics checks.
Can I have Giles?
You have Giles, you can make Giles fly, but it's kind of hard when you're like spinning around and things like that. That's why you were doing it earlier.
On my mama's dice, that's a natural 20. 25.
16.
21.
Good job, mama's dice.
11.
Gunthar? 11.
My fear of...
no.
I will grab whoever's closest to me, and I'm gonna say that the closest to me is Gunthar. So I'm going to grab...
No. In fact, you'd be in the front next to Dax, L, or Lucy, because Gunthar was shot out behind you guys as the water was coming. So Gunthar, do you remember? Oh geez, what's a good example? Till you're at the bottom of the forest.
Oh, just like bouncing off of shit.
Yep.
We playing Plinko with Gunthar?
Everyone grabbed onto something fine. Who rolled the 14? Who rolled the 14?
I got a 13.
I didn't roll anything.
25.
The person that rolled under a 15. You guys do take. Well, Dax, you were able to catch on to something. The DC was 12 to see if you didn't crash. You do take.
I rolled an 11.
Oh, I rolled an.
Yeah, you rolled an 11, Gunthar. You rolled a 10. So, Dax,
bad.
you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the first tree, then you grab onto the next one like, ow! Gunthar, you on the other hand, let's see, there's that. There's that. Okay.
Dead at the bottom.
I still have temporary hit points.
You do have temporary hit points. You take 42 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on the ground. And actually, ironically, bear dung.
Haha. Are you alive?
How
He's
far
fine.
away from am I from
temporary
everybody?
hit points still.
Well, they're at the top of the trees. You're at the bottom of the trees.
Gunther kind of rolls
Actually-
over.
Layla?
Ha!
What?
See? It ain't that funny when it happens to you, huh?
Says the one that got yeeted out of water again.
Yeah, well, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame. I don't know how the saying goes.
Shame on the water.
Gunther, you look up and there's a bear sniffing you, looking very confused.
How you doing, buddy?
Just turns around and walks away, looking rather annoyed.
I don't have a shirt on, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure Elle probably has your shirt. She's been holding on to the entire time.
Thank you. Oh, I hurt in so many places. You guys coming down?
Tree.
Hi, baby.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You guys slowly make your way down the trees. Lilith, you can help people if you want to. You can watch them struggle, one or the other. You'll help. Aww. Takes the rest of the day, but you guys eventually make it back to Lonnie's ranch.
I have not updated my father since I called him.
Nope.
Nope.
It's been
You've been a
busy.
little occupied.
I'm sure you called him on the way back.
Phones work both
Yeah,
ways.
you know, I'm
Could have called you
getting
too.
Hold on. Alright, I'm fine.
Good help.
I'm good.
Gunther, make a medicine check with disadvantage.
Medicine check with disadvantage.
You never
Can I
reset your
help
shoulder
him?
before.
Can I help him?
Yes, so make it a straight roll. Straight
Oh,
roll.
then that would have been 20. Slutty 20. Slutty 20.
So you're about to do it when I was like, hold on. And she like lifts up your shoulder and says, now go ahead and do it. And you're able to reset it.
Thanks, Will. That hurt.
Oh,
I
here's
don't like the water.
He's currently, oh yeah, you guys are all salty right now. Like, physically and
I'm
mentally.
always salty.
You're extra salty.
Among other things, there is the good news that they told us not all of us will make it out alive.
And yeah, here we are.
Despite our best efforts, yeah.
Wow.
Lilith, question.
Yeah.
Would you have summoned Salem to talk to you at all during that time? And would he have been in the water at all or no?
No. He's just been quietly observing.
Okay. Okay, I thought it would have just been funny, like Salem's not the one that made it out, but eh.
As
I mean, technically he's not here.
That's true.
as
also
we're
true.
as we're walking back, Gunther would just kind of hang back and kind of
As
strata.
you're limping because you definitely have like 4 shattered ribs.
Yeah, he's a hot mess.
Definite
Screw it.
limp as there's a stick shoved into his leg as he crashed. Like, just
Hit myself with a cure wounds at
Okay.
second level.
Alright.
And he's like doing this as he talks to Nephe. He goes, so I'm less doubtful of myself right now, but just to confirm, you recall what happened, right?
I'm half thinking that it was a fever dream, but if you think it was real, then it must be real, right?
I've got the broken bones as proof that it was real.
Oh.
She
Also,
pulls up-
she does have still have that pot. She still does have that pot that she was able to hold on to.
Oh yeah, Elle's been holding on to it the whole time and has not let go of it.
Gotta
Um,
love
she's
that
gonna-
gift shop jar.
Is that where she's gonna put her smut?
Oh my god.
just out of curiosity, what happened to Embargo when we got shot out? When I got shot out of the thing?
You look down at your hand as you land. You come down. The statue's back in your hand.
Okay.
Hey, you got your dog statue back. Didn't Gaea like turn that into dust?
Yeah. Yeah, she did. And to reassure herself, she's gonna pull that little coin out too.
You grab one coin. Do you feel that your 2 of your pockets are filled with gold coins?
I want
Yeah,
gold
Gunther,
in
I
my
think that-
pockets.
Gunther, I don't think you're crazy.
That I had not been expecting you to respond that way, nor had I. That's surprisingly validating. I had not realized that perhaps I was considering myself as insane, but I believe I may have.
Oi, y'all look salty. As you see Salem sitting there on the path waiting for you guys. Y'all look salty as hell. Smell it too. Goodness. Actually, Gunther, you smell cleaner than usual.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
How easy is it for me to take off one of my boots?
I mean, it's got like buckles because it's like a metal-plated boot. Unless you don't think you'd have one of those because you're wearing like chainmail. But you want to throw your boot at Salem?
I was going to empty out my water-filled boot on him if I could.
I mean, my thought process was I was gonna take off my shirt and wring it out on him.
Guys, be nice to Salem. He's a part of nature, okay? He's a part.
Trying to like make it nonchalant, like I'm trying to get it out, but he happens to be in my way as I'm throwing my shirt off.
Dax is not trying to be coy about it.
I know what this cat is capable of. I've seen him in my nightmares.
That should be on a shirt. I know what this cat is capable of. I've seen him in my nightmares.
With like the evil demon smile that he has on the back of the shirt, like a
With
regular
those
cat
6
with a cat.
eyes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotta just bring the shirt real quick.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Both
Alright,
of
Mama
us?
dice. Mom bless my dice.
Dax, make an attack roll with your shoe, so unarmed strike, because you're not proficient with shooting.
Mama made it good. 21.
This is also my first time hearing a DM say, make an attack roll with your shoe.
Your shoe.
It's not the worst. I mean, Alyssa knows that we've had a pillow fight, and someone had to take pillow damage because it's halved. Because she was a barbarian fighting their, like, teenager warlock, Ko, if you remember Ko.
I remember Ko well. Ko is big.
He decided to start a pillow fight with my barbarian.
Yeah.
Poor Ko.
Oh yeah. He does not take any boot damage because I rolled a natural 1.
He wrings out, she wrings out the shirt, he shakes off the water, and it turns into ice shards, and it actually hits you in the foot as you're taking off your boot. No damage, but you're like, ow! It's like, oh, I'm sorry, just oh yeah. Ever heard of a cat like being wet? Me neither.
Don't put the shirt back on.
Tigers.
It's still wet.
Do I look like a tiger?
No. Tigers are cooler.
What a time for a screen to go black, too.
And the Red Knight's still a bitch, and he turns around and continues to walk.
Elle's just like clutching onto that jar and just glaring at Salem, just kind of being like, no, my jar.
I'm gonna look over at Dax, like quietly whisper, say, I got him wet for you.
Thanks.
I'm putting my shirt back on to hide everything.
And you'll pay for it too, as he says as he goes around a tree and he's gone.
I just whispered it.
Do you really want to know what Salem's passive perception is?
Probably better than mine.
Probably better than hers.
Probably.
Just out of curiosity, was Lilith room at all?
Lilith has been kind of just... She's hating herself because she was wet, and she's been drying herself off. She saw Salem for a second, kind of waved, he kind of waved back, then he went around a tree. And then he popped up around her neck and he was kind of massaging her shoulder. As any good cat would.
He's being affectionate?
Well, yeah, she's wet, and no one likes really being wet, especially salty water wet, like in your clothes.
That was Layla saying that. I'm like, oh, he's being affectionate.
Lilith is gonna like scratch his head and just like nuzzle up to him.
He's like licking the salt off your face. You guys continue on. Any conversations you'd like to have beforehand before we kind of close it?
Hey, Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
You did a real good job in there. Second day.
I still want that spiked armor. I think it's very good looking. But,
You think we can find somebody to make you some, replicate it? Owen's pretty good on the forge.
you know what? I just might. Thank you, Gunther. Was
Hey,
this productive for you?
it was, and thank you for coming along. I know it probably wasn't a comfortable place for you to be.
I got to see a little bit of my own thing there. It was actually kind of sweet seeing it, in a way. And I hope it was appreciated, what I did for it.
I think he appreciates you more than you realize. A lot of us do, you know.
She will, just kind of, like, low-key, like, a little disgusted, but also a little appreciative of it. She's gonna be like, thanks. Just accept the compliment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk over here now.
Sounds good. She's gonna tap him on the shoulder as he leaves and prestidigitation a little bit.
Aww.
That's so sweet.
That's some things never change.
Yeah, that will never change. 100 years from now, Lilith will be cleaning up Gunthar.
That's just our thing. I just have to clean him up now. Anytime he's dirty, it's just, ugh, you're the worst.
Stop getting dirty.
Rolling
you
mud.
You hear a voice on your wind. That is your nanny.
Just out of curiosity, is my notebook wet?
Your notebook is 100% dry.
Okay. Whenever Gunther is done talking, she'll saddle up with Gunther and just kind of nerd out and kind of go over some of the things that she drew and wrote down in the notes and stuff, and to nerd out with Gunther for a little bit.
You're not gonna believe this. She told a freaking joke, man.
Joke.
She told a joke. I was joking with a god from the primordial era. It was a pretty good one. I don't remember it, but it was a good one.
Gunther, your shirt is still covered in dung.
My what?
Your chest is covered in dung, by the way, because that never was cleaned off.
Yeah, I got poop on me.
I also have prestidigitation, so I'll just you got something, and I'll just poke him.
I'm the luckiest man alive. I got all these people cleaning me. I don't even have to bathe anymore.
You bathe to begin with?
I mean, once every few months.
This has only been a week in the campaign, so that is very fair.
Yeah.
It's been
enough to stay off the plague.
Yeah.
And she'll also nerd. The people at the museum are never gonna believe this. I have to write my new paper.
Hey, do me a favor. No names.
No name for you, Gunther, I promise. But you know what? What do you think about the name for this paper? And she just throws out these horrible titles. Just ridiculous, horrible titles.
like Dax is cringing because and Lilith are cringing. Dax, Lilith, and Lucy are cringing because they're the only real ones that would understand what's going on. I was like, ooh, I like those because country bumpkin.
My jar.
She's possessive over this jar.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious at home what that jar is, Bronze Age. Oh, let's see. This is a clay jar, clay jar from about 2500 BC. So, if anyone would like to look that up real quick, go ahead and leave it in the comments, or one of us can look it up real quick. It's a pretty penny.
The entire time they're walking, Lucy's just gonna kind of look over at the nerds and doesn't understand for a minute and just keeps glancing over at them just to be like, okay, and just keeps walking really.
Ha! Nerds.
What's a nerd? What's a nerd? What's a nerd?
Okay, well Lucy's the one also wore a helmet too, so
She's like nerd stacks. You're the nerd.
What is a nerd? Somebody explain to me what a nerd is. Nobody?
You started it.
Al, what's a
I'm going
nerd?
with Dax. You started this.
I got nothing.
Is somebody here?
You're just really excited about this history and stuff, and all the
Yes.
gods and everything.
Yeah,
You're
fuck yeah.
passionate about it. That's a nerd. You're passionate about this thing.
I'm a nerd.
Yes.
A nerd. Yes.
Yes.
Gunther,
Oh.
he's turned to a he's a proud archaeological nerd.
A nerd.
And he's running for president for 2020. Hashtag Gunther for president.
Yes.
I'd vote for him.
Worst president ever.
I'd vote for him. Can't be much worse.
Nice president.
The way we
Nephe as
decide
vice
new laws is
president.
with the money. That's how we decide new laws, with just straight rolls.
Okay, wait, no, we have a whole cabinet here, right? We have L, who's obviously VP. Dax would be the head of the Interior or the Department of Defense.
Yeah, that's right.
Lucy would be the CIA, right? The head of, like, the Natural History Museums and all that jazz, like, the Library of Congress would obviously be Nephe. And then fucking Lilith is definitely...
Treasure.
Yeah, Lilith is definitely the treasurer. 100%.
But I'm here for this 2020 campaign.
We need someone to draw art of all of them, like in presidential outfits.
It's just the West Wing.
Yes.
If Gunther has to take all of his presidential pictures as a bear.
Yeah. Gunther never leaves bear form. It's just in bear form. His bear for president 2020.
And he has to have like subtitles while reading speeches as a bear.
I like fish. Fish are nice.
Fish is the new national food.
A lot of
Guys, remember that
environmentally
picture I
friendly.
posted? Remember that picture I posted of like the girl and the bear and the bear? It's what I'm imagining.
Bear president 2020. That picture right in the middle.
Perfect.
L on top with their fucking crossbow butt naked.
Maybe not butt naked, because we have like
Fine,
not
fine. In a suit. In a suit.
Yes.
In her birthday suit.
No, in her any other conversations before we head out?
Elle just kind of keeps glancing over at Nephe and at Gunther and just like smiles because she's happy to see both of them happy.
Elle, come here! And we like drag Elle into it, and they're like telling so many like excited. Oh shit!
Nephe and Gunther are like talking over each other to Elle.
I'm guessing that if you two want, you can send her a text kind of explaining what happened, though I'm sure... Actually, Ola, do you watch our stream at all afterwards, or no?
No, not usually.
Goes back?
Sometimes.
Okay, then yeah, you guys can go ahead. And, like, text her about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
let me in on the details.
The deets.
I love how this is like super like secret cryptic stuff, and Gunther and Nephe are just like, "Hey, everybody!"
What's
Hey,
it's
Al.
like, I heard half of everything that you guys were going through. Like, all I heard was Bret, and then, like, is, like, laughing at you guys.
They were great. I love it.
It was a good session for sure.
You guys get home around, like, actually relatively early, like 5 or 6.
2 days later.
No, same day. Surprisingly, going off the gorge cut your time down tremendously.
1 eternity later.
Waiting for you is Lana and Owen. We're looking genuinely concerned, but happy that you guys are alive.
I run into Owen's arms being like,
With your jar?
oh my god!
So it's more like,
So nothing
you gotta
happened.
have the jar, yeah.
He's like,
I'm a fucking quarterback. It's my football.
Quarterback tackle.
glad you're all okay, but we were getting worried.
I want moonshine. I want some moonshine.
Y'all smell like salt.
It's
I'm
been
gonna
a
go
couple.
raid
It's
for some
been a
moonshine.
rough
Lana's
couple
like,
days.
hold on.
My leg
Alright,
twice.
hold the fuck on.
Twice.
All of y'all need some baths before you can get into my house.
I don't wanna.
Gunther?
Right.
Alright, I'll do it. I'll start taking my shirt off there.
You too, Genasi.
Okay.
Oh, are you heading out? Or are you heading out? We cleaned the mule. We re-strapped the bags. Well fed. It'll cost you about a gold piece for everything we've done.
Okay, so from this like farm to like the little village, which I assume I get to train back to New York. Like, how far is that?
That's just like 5 hours from here. I mean, if you sprinted on your mule, I think they're 2.5. But if you take like a casual mule pace,
Nah,
Head out in the morning.
yeah, I think she'll probably take up on that bath, and she'll head out in the morning and she'll pay whatever the.
Elle tosses the coin. I'll pays for her.
Oh.
aw. I want all of you to roll me a percentile check.
No.
Oh lordy.
42.
Okay.
54.
80.
5, 80.
31.
A 22.
It's funny. You guys, all except for Lilith, ironically, you all look down on your left forearm and see that there's a symbol of Gaea that you saw on the symbol, almost like a tattoo or like a slow brand on your arm. All except for Lilith. And it's kind of there for you, Dax. Like it looks like you probably could wash it off. It looks like Gaea has respect for those that are worshipping other people.
Can Elle touch her forehead to see if she still feels the clay on her forehead?
It is on your. It is also still on your forehead. Yes.
What is this?
Do you touch it like this?
Yeah.
Something happens. I'll text it to you later.
Can I try
Hello?
to see if I can wipe it off or like rub it away?
It feels like your skin, like a tattoo.
I try to wash mine off. Like, nicely though. I don't try to like scrub it, but like, in consideration,
some-
like, nice.
You roll some cold water off it, and it comes right off like some ink.
Can
It's on there.
Fuck.
Hey, look, we're tattoo buddies, Lucy.
It's better than the brands and scars otherwise you have on your arms.
Sure, at least this one probably looks way nicer.
Yeah, I mean you've seen the symbol. It's a pretty symbol.
I know, she's just more having the thing of like, the fuck? I didn't do shit, why?
All I can think about is like when groups of friends go do like a crazy thing, spring break, and get matching tattoos. That's what just happened.
Dax got like a temporary tattoo. Was like, yo, give all of them permanent tattoos. Give me one of those that goes away in like a week.
It's not really my thing, but I guess.
You give it a week, you'll be turning into a bear too.
I'd rather not.
That's fair.
Religion's not my thing, so.
He's watching over.
Slightly offended.
I'm not. No disrespect, just it's not my ideal. Or I just don't feel it.
Lucy's like an onion. She's got layers. We're gonna peel them back slowly and find
Call
out.
her a Shrek.
I think that's exactly what Gunthar just did.
What do you make? What the hell's a Shrek? You're just making words up.
Question, DM.
Yes.
It's a religious term.
If I look, I don't know. If I look at the Gaea mark, can I possibly turn my arm to like see the branding and see if I can any difference in it? Like, cause she's kind of making the assumption that like she is scarred and is now putting pieces together.
You looking at the tattoo, it actually looks like it goes underneath all of that. So you look under, look at your arm. It appeared out of nowhere, but as your eyes kind of focus on it, you see that there's scars, brands, small ruins that have kind of faded over time. They're just all over your arms.
The fuck?
Both of them.
Oh shit.
You guys have a wonderful steak dinner with 3 baked potatoes, some carrots, and some more cornbread.
I love cornbread.
I'm finding
And
the moonshine.
And Lucy has 2 shot glasses of moonshine before she is out.
I can
Make a Constitution saving throw for your first check.
Constitution. 23.
23? That's the first one, okay. Make your second one. First one you take down. It's been a day.
Oh, these dice are rolling so good! Nope. 22!
You can find the second one. You could be here for a while, but all of you are just kind of enjoying the festivities. People are playing more games like they were. Before you guys are allowed to join, though, Lonnie does kind of pull you out to the side and kind of wants an explanation because O seemed kind of pissed when he called her. Wondering what happened.
I'm drunk.
You are, yeah.
This is... I'm responsible for this. I drug Lilith in there out of personal interest. And Nephe, even Nephe, who was interested, wanted to turn back. I kind of drug her along. We just went...
I don't know what the thing with Lilith and her father is. Gunther, it is partially my fault. I came here with this crazy map, this crazy idea. I kind of had you all into this.
We fought a Hydra.
Wasn't my first time.
I'm sorry, a Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Good.
did.
Lucy, what's your armor class?
Oh, fuck, 16.
And she just drops your ass. Just drops it. I'm gonna say you can go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. To see if you withstand the punch.
Ooh. 13.
No. You're absolutely asleep on the floor with one punch.
Mama said knock you out.
If any one of you fuckers told her father that she fought a Hydra, I will personally drop all of your asses and bury you 6 feet under. Am I fucking understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say, I'm pretty sure she got the killing blow. Like, she kicked ass. Like, destroyed
That
them.
does not help.
I know. I'm just saying, like... Alright, sorry, I'll be quiet.
We don't need to end up like Lucy right now.
Yeah. Poor Lucy.
Yes, and none of you get to have any fun. Bedtime, all of you.
She had her fun, just passed out.
Yes, ma'am.
It helped, I guess, carry Lucy up.
Yeah, I'll help too.
We just...
I mean, it's hammocks if you guys remember, so you're able to just...
Yeah, but like,
hammock.
we can carry her to like a lower hammock.
Yeah. No, you're not the friends that put her on the top hammock with like her head sticking out, so if she falls, she just...
No!
I've had friends like that, so that's...
How mean. Hey, Nephe, before you go to bed, is there a good address that I can write letters to you about while we're traveling?
Cute.
I'll give him the address for the tenement building.
Thank you.
Also, before we go to bed, the son, is that Owen? The one that I saw before, like some kind of...
Yep.
Yes, he's the one that is supposed to protect us.
Okay, so during dinner, or before we go to bed, I will, I'll find him. I'll give him one of the coins.
I mean, he'd probably be working in the forge, working on some sort of weapon.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can do it in the morning, just before I leave. I just want to give him one before.
Okay. Right. It's an uneventful night. Nephe leaves in the morning on her mule. Gives the coin to Owen, who seems startled by it, but looking at it, seeing what it is, gently bows and tells you, I guess something was up there, huh?
Yes, she was.
Good luck on your travels. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Owen. And I'll say goodbye to the group. And I'll make sure to like kind of give Gunthar a little hug.
Gunthar, are you crying when she leaves?
No! You're crying! I got dust in my eye!
It's okay, Gunther. You'll see her again.
It's okay, Gunthar. You know where to find me. If you guys need any more help on all this stuff, just come find me at the museum.
Sounds good.
Lindsay's so hungover!
Oh yeah, Lucy, you were able to down it, but I'm not even gonna say you have a chance to make a Constitution saving throw because with how you're rolling, I'm gonna say you took. Oh, you took 4 shots before you started talking to Lana of Moonshine.
I'm down moonshine? Damn!
It's been a bad 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been a day.
I broke my leg twice. Nearly got buried alive. Nearly drowned.
Nearly drowned.
Fought a Hydra.
It's been a day.
I was gonna
The
George.
fact that I was giggling like non-stop and I just went, he fed a Hydra. Pop!
Well, to be fair, because I rolled a 22, and with her, yeah, that was that would have been 14 points of bludgeoning damage just with her one strike.
Rest. No, it's not. Took a long rest. It's okay.
Yeah, I gotta long rest it up.
Everyone, go ahead and take your long rest. But I think this will end tonight's session. Thank you everyone for watching. Unless anything wants to be said, but it is kind of getting late for some of us, and it is late for some of us.
I'll just wave at Nephe as she goes and just says, I know where you are.
You've got a black eye from the evening earlier. You don't remember how you got it.
What the fuck?
And one of your teeth are loose because one of the teeth that was knocked out by the tooth fairy.
I already fixed it once, God.
Alright, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm sorry I got a little too chaotic. Probably on the YouTube edition I'll cut out a lot of that. Actually, no, it's not right. I will cut out a majority of that. I have to. It's
part of the story.
You can just have like a special editions episode where you put their nonsense in like one.
Night chat, we love you.
Good night,
Thank
chat.
you, Liz, saying good night.
Thank you for coming. And remember, we're odd rollers. We do what we want because no one can tell us what to do except me. Let's go.
Tell me what to do.